right, everybody. It is currently Wednesday night, so we have rain on the radar, which, if you've been watching these Facebook Lives for a little while now, you're probably not surprised by the fact that there is rain on the radar right now, because we've been talking about this now for a while. And so today was a pretty good day, especially out across western Oklahoma for areas that picked up the that picked up the rain, where the drought is the worst. We're talking about southwestern Oklahoma. Let me pull up today's rain totals so far, because these have been really, really nice to see, especially out across western Oklahoma. So did you know that the sun angle for this time of the year is the lowest it is going to be all year long? So the sun starts to get a little bit higher in the sky at the end of next week. First day of winter is when the sun angle begins to climb. So right now in Oklahoma, we have about a 30-degree sun angle. Compare that to like in the middle of the summer or the beginning of summer, when our sun angle is like 75%. So I think a lot of us can probably tell that the sun's just not nearly as harsh right now as it is in the summertime. And so when it rains like this, where you get 1 3/4 of an inch of rain in Hollis, an inch and a half in Eric, when you get numbers like these, this really sits in the soil and it soaks in the soil. It doesn't evaporate that much like it would, say, in the summertime. So that's what makes this rainfall different. It's what makes it unique, that this is going to soak deep in the soil, and we're not going to basically turn a bunch of it into gas. It's gonna go straight into the soil and into the lakes too, by the way. But it's not raining like all that heavy enough to really fill up the lakes, but that's okay. So anyway, so we get these numbers are phenomenal. There's rain out there right now, lifting up towards Enid. There has been some talk about snow, by the way, which any snow threat's primarily going to stay west of Guyman. But we do have some rain out there right now, and I do have a new timeline for more rain that is coming in. So let's walk it in here, why don't we? So here's predictor tonight at midnight. Scattered showers out across western Oklahoma early in the morning. Scattered showers continue. 7:30, some rain from Hinton out towards Woodward and Buffalo. I'm not anticipating there being really any issues at all across the OKC area. The morning drive looks fine. It looks dry. We'll be okay. Scattered showers continue late into the morning and into early in the afternoon. But right around 3 and 4 o'clock, we begin to notice a little bit of a bump in the system that starts to finally push it out of the Panhandle and out of western Oklahoma, and it starts to move a bit to the east, and the colors get a little bit more vibrant as well. So here we are tomorrow evening around 6:30, still raining out across western Oklahoma. Notice how we have a lot more yellow and a lot more orange popping up on the radar. That's what we see here around Cherokee, Enid, El Reno, Hinton, right around this time or so tomorrow night. And then it begins to move into the OKC metro while a lot of us are asleep tomorrow night, early Friday morning. Same thing for Perry, Ponca City, down in the Pauls Valley as well. We're going to wake up on Friday morning. It is going to be raining. It will be wet out there, and the rain will continue to late morning hours. You can see the low here, by the way, spinning, and so this will begin to lift up to the northeast. So last night when we were doing this Facebook Live, I had mentioned that I was waiting for a little bit more data to see if I need to bump up or if I can bump up the rain projections. And today when I came into work, I'd seen enough and said, yeah, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and bump up these numbers here. So 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of rain for the OKC Metro, Norman, Pauls Valley, out to the west. This is additional rain, by the way. Alva, Woodward, Hinton down to Lawton. An additional 1.5 to 3 inches of rain expected out across western Oklahoma. I even bumped up the numbers here. Ponca City, Stillwater, Prague to Holdenville as well. So Jack, I'm not too sure if we'll bump them up even more. So it is possible. It is certainly possible, and I'll show you what I mean, because I'll kind of give you a run of all the weather models that we have right now and what they're saying for rain projections. So here's the Euro. The Euro goes about 1/2 inch to 1 inch for central Oklahoma, 1 to 2 inches of rain out in western Oklahoma. You can see higher amounts there in the eastern Texas Panhandle. So that's the Euro model. The GFS says that we go with 1 inch in Stillwater, 1 inch to 1.5 inches in central Oklahoma, 1.5 to 2 inches of rain out in western Oklahoma. The NAM, where's my NAM? Where's my NAM? Where's my NAM? Here's my NAM. The NAM has you at about 1 inch for OKC, 1 to 1.5 inches out west, half an inch for Stillwater. The IBM with a graph looks like this. So definitely there is a possibility that we could bump up numbers a bit for Stillwater, but I would say at least averaging all the data that we have, this is a safe estimate tomorrow. If I can bump up the numbers, I'll see if I will. I probably would not change them tonight, but maybe I could for tomorrow. There's also, by the way, another storm. Look, we have a really active December forecast. Not, I think, for severe weather, but for more rain. So here we are for this week. And then looking at the weather models, I see the potential for Friday to Christmas Eve, another round of rain. No flood risk in Stillwater. Late next week, Friday to Christmas Eve, another round of rain is possible. And then there's another storm system that's lining up as we go towards around New Year's Eve. So definitely kind of there's a favored path right now when it comes to what the latest data is saying for storms, or rain, I shouldn't say storms, but rain. The 8 to 14-day rain outlook, wetter than normal for Oklahoma all the way up to southern South Dakota, across the Four Corners, and into California. Let me pop this up right now. And when I looked at the GFS model earlier today, I want to show you like how many storms it had coming in here, and then how much all the storms it has. Okay, so here's storm system number 1, by the way. And so that moves in. So there's storm system number 1. That moves out. Next week is mostly quiet. Here's our next storm system beginning to move into the West Coast. I'll drag it over a bit. The West Coast brings in some nice moisture out to the Sierras. And then we go into late next week. This is that one I talked about, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Storm system begins to drop in. Rain across the panhandle, snow there. That moves in. This is next Friday, so like a week from this Friday. Nice, good rain event from Texas, Oklahoma, all the way up into Kansas. That system lifts out of here, snow way up to the north. Then we see another system kind of develop on the backside of that, going into Christmas Eve. And then here comes another storm system as we go into the final week of the year that has a little bit colder air into Oklahoma. And then it looks like there's another storm system lining up down to the south as well. And that one, if there were to be any snow chances, I would say probably somewhere around the new year. I'll have to watch it. If this is indeed correct, we'll I'll have to wait and see. This does show some snow on the backside going into Friday, December 29th. How much snow does that show? Let me just see here. This is just raw model stuff, so let me just see what this is saying for snow. 1 to 2 inches of snow there. So we'll wait and see on that one. Again, we got a long time to go on that one. Hard to say about severe weather in early February for the upcoming year, and the only reason why is because typically in a strong El Nino, severe weather chances tend to be a little bit lower, below average. Doesn't mean it can't happen though. That's just what our odds are, is that we typically have a less active severe weather season. So there we are, rain for central western Oklahoma, and there it is moving up to the east. Quite a bit of snow there, out across the plains of Colorado. And I do believe there's some nice mountain snow, by the way, that's been falling out of this. I've been looking at some webcams, and earlier I was looking at Telluride, and Telluride has some nice snow that's falling. Just for anyone that wants to see mountain snow. Looks like about 2 inches there already, Telluride. So there you go. All right. I'm going to wrap this up, get ready for the 10 o'clock news. Otherwise, I'll see you on TV in a little bit.